Hello greaters, welcome back to the second video, which will be the second topic of term 1, which is business operations, human resource activities. Now human resource has everything to do with recruitments, hiring employees for a company or a business. Yeah, that's all that human resource is all about. And please guys, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel, and let's go through this quickly without wasting any of your time. So this is a mind map of what we have to do, or what you have to know with regards to business, to human resource activities. So you need to know the selection process, how the human resource departments selects candidate who will be able to perform a certain job. And then induction, it's a person being introduced after being hired, being introduced to everything in the workplace, people that they're going to be working with, spaces that they're going to be familiar or frequently working with inside that business, and their placement, being placed on a job, recruitment, and internal and external recruitment. So how people are hired. Internal recruitment is people being hired within a business. Let's say there's a managerial position in a certain school, and the department decides that let's just employ somebody who among the teachers who are already working in that school. That is internal recruitment. External recruitment is bringing external, inviting people from outside, from other schools, other teachers to apply for that post. So that is the difference. And so the broad topic of business operations is how a business is operated. Okay. And then the subtopic under business operations will find human resources and other things. It's not just business does not mainly operate just based on human resources, it applies on other things. So the overview of the topic is that human resource function plays a critical role in every organization. Human resource functions deal with all aspects within the organization that relates to employees. So everything that has to do with employees is the human resource department's job. It is important that the human resource function ensures that the right employees are appointed in all vacant positions in the business. So if we're looking for a certain person to work in the business, the human resources ensure that the right person, right candidate for the job are appointed based on experience, based on knowledge about that job and all that. The department that wants a person to be hired will tell the human resources, hire us this person with this expertise, and that is what the human resource would look for. The person who is hired has to suit the requirements for the job that was advertised. So the business must also ensure that the employees' conditions of service and labor rights are adhered to when appointments are made. So it's very important for the business to ensure that they comply with certain legislatures that support a conducive working environment for employees, like the National Credit, not the National Credit Act, the Employment Equity Act, Labor Relations Act, Basic Conditions of Employment Act, compensation, Injuries and Diseases Act, Compensation and Injuries and Diseases Act. I think, I'd forgotten the order in which we call it. And then, what is the other one? Basic Conditions of Employment Act, we've told about that. Employment Equity Act as well. So they have to comply. Businesses have to make sure they do. So, key concepts that should be taken into consideration, or that should be that you should take note of and you should know, so that you're in matric now, you know that we have multiple choice questions, we have one word questions, we have true or false questions. these terminologies and definitions, when you know them and master them, you will be able to answer questions. Okay, those questions, section A of a question paper, you'll be able to master it. So it's very important that you learn job analysis. What is a job analysis? What is interview? What is the interviewer? What is the interviewee? What is induction? And what is placement? So you have to know that with regards to human resources. Though that's the key terminologies that you have to do. Examiners will be throwing them in there and there. So I've just did legislation, all of them, all of the legislations that affect businesses. I've just done a video on it. Check that out. And then we also have this terminologies as well, that you have fringe benefit, BCEA. This is Basic Conditions of Employment Act. This and then EEA is Employment Equity Act. So you have to know that. Now let's get into this. So the first thing we had was job analysis. When a job, we need to hire a math teacher for grade 4. Now we have to analyze everything. Let's say a job analysis is a tool used by the human resource function to obtain and analyze information about the business workforce so that they can place the right person in the right job. So that is a business analysis. What is the needs of the business? What can be currently improved? Do we need more staff and stuff like that? That is the job of the HR. A job analysis consists of job descriptions and job specifications. Okay, the employer must be clear about the nature of work to be performed so that an appropriate job description and jobs specification can be prepared. So whenever someone has to be hired, there's a job specification and a job description that should be done by the HR department. So when we're talking about job specification, we identify the skills, knowledge, and experience a person must have to perform the tasks described in the job description. Okay, specification is skills and knowledge. What should you have to be able to teach grade 4 learners? Let's go for description. A description describes the duties and responsibilities that an employee must perform. So you're going to be a grade 4 teacher teaching them mathematics. So what are your skills? What skills do you need to have in order for you to perform this job? That is a job specification. So what you should have is that you should have here they were talking about a finance person. What if you need to have a teaching degree? Maybe you have 3 years experience for you to teach this grade 4 learners. Okay, and then but with this job description and job specification, they did someone who's going to be involved in finance. Okay, so they have said the job specification is that we need a bookkeeper who maintains records of financial transactions by establishing accounts and posting transactions. So they need a bookkeeper. That is a description. And then the specification, what skills should the bookkeeper have to be able to fill in this job description? That person should be had previous bookkeeping experience, developing standards, analyzing information, must be able to analyze information, must have data entry skills, must have accounting as a subject, and must have attention to detail, and qualifications required. You will say what are the qualifications required, and then the training required, how many years of experience, expertise, and skills required. Okay, so that is how a job will be advertised. We're looking for a bookkeeper with the following skills. The skills will be the specification. They're looking for a bookkeeper is a job description. And then this is activity 1. Read the job advertisement below and answer the questions that follow. Identify 2 examples of job description and 2 examples of job specification in the advertisement above. So you will have to answer that. I will give you all the answers at the end of the video for the activities that will be in this video. So we have something that we call human resource activities. Activities are what the human resource does on a daily basis. Okay, what is the activities of human resources? Is to recruit. Recruit is the process used by business to identify vacancies in the business and attract suitable candidates to it. So they have to identify which posts are vacant and how can they hire best people to occupy those vacant positions. And then the recruitment procedures. The human resource manager should prepare the job specification. How do you recruit? Recruiting is when you're recruiting, you're trying to get someone to be part of you, right? You're going to tell them about what is your business all about and stuff like that. So you're recruiting somebody. You're telling them about this thing that you had joined or that you're trying for people to join, and you're going to tell them about it. So that is recruiting. So that's what a business also does. It's an invitation sort of. So they place it in online, newspapers, radios. It's a recruitment. They are inviting people to apply for jobs. So this is what the recruitment looks like. The human resource manager should prepare the job description to identify recruitment needs. We have dealt with that. The HR should indicate the job specification. We have dealt with that. Prepare a job analysis, which includes job specification and job description. A job specification and description. A decision whether to recruit internally should be made to identify suitable candidates from within the business. So if this is a job description, this is a job specification. Are we recruiting people outside, or are we giving this opportunity to people who already work for us in the business to improve their skills and get a promotion? So that is internal recruitment. If internal recruitment is unsuccessful, external recruitment should be considered. So if within the business we cannot find a suitable person to fill in this vacant position, then we should consider going outside. That's where we go to newspapers, we go to recruiting agencies, outside people, to invite them inside so that they can apply. If there is external recruitment is done, the relevant recruitment sources should be selected. E.g., recruitment agency, tertiary institutions, newspaper. So external recruitment is done, relevant recruitment sources should be selected. So you're going to recruit people through agencies or tertiary institutions. You go to universities and look for students there, or you're going to place the advert in the newspaper. The advertisement should be prepared in the relevant information. Name, there must be the name of the company, contact details of person who are interested to contact, and the contact person ECT. That is etc. Place the advertisement in the selected media that will ensure that the best candidate apply. Types of recruitment, internal and external. I've already explain internal and external recruitment. The sources of internal recruitment are promotions, transfer, internal referrals, and internal advertisements. So a promotion is someone going from a lower job to a higher one when there's a position. Maybe you were an assistant director, or now you can apply for director, something like that. A transfer is moving an employee from one position to another. Internal referrals, recommendation by another employee, often supervisor. Maybe a supervisor can say there's a new person, be like, yeah, so and so who works under me is great and can actually take on that position. Internal advertisement, job posting on bulletin boards or through email, just letting the person in the business, only people in the businesses to know. And then sources of external recruitment are job advertisement in newspapers and on website. Is recruitment agencies, is campus recruitment being done at tertiary institution, is external referrals, recommendations from employees regarding people outside the organization, and it's a CV pool from past applicants. So a CV pool is people who had previously applied. We just go back to them and see whom we can call. Impact. How does internal recruitment impact the business? How does what effect does it have in the business? So it's faster if the candidates are known. That is the positive impact. No extra cost involved in advertising. Motivates employee within the organization. Promote opportunities of promotions. It has opportunities for promotions. Good way of retaining talent and hardworking employees. So the negative impact of internal recruitment on the business is that existing relationship could make it difficult to judge the employees objectively. If you know somebody very well and you're familiar with them, it might not be easy to judge them fairly. Could cause resentment among employees who are not promoted. If someone is promoted, we are not considered what was better about them and all that. No fresh ideas introduced to the business because they're people that we know work with on a daily basis. Create a new vacancy to be filled. So, impact of external recruitment. Advantage is a positive one, disadvantage is a negative impact. So, for the positive impact is that less chance of being biased owing to existing relationships. So, it's somebody completely new and you don't have to show favoritism to them. New employees can bring fresh ideas into the organization. Large number of employees to choose from helps finding the best talent with the right skills. So minimizes conflict among current employees who applied for the same position. So you don't have to be they will be quarreling, competing who will win it and stuff like that. So there is no need for all of that. And the negative impact that external recruitment has on businesses is that it takes longer to fill the vacancy. Extra costs are involved. Advertising costs and outsourcing could decrease morale of current employees. It may take time for new employees to adjust to the new environment. Outsourcing is you want to hire. Because of going on the stress of finding the right people, you use a recruitment agency, you pay them for them to find you a person to fill up a position in your company. That is outsourcing. You can do something, let's say you're having a Christmas lunch, instead of you to cook the lunch, you just hire a caterer so that you can enjoy being with family. So that is outsourcing. Selection is done to choose between applicants who is most likely to succeed in the advertisement position. So we go through each and everyone's specifications to be able to know if they meet the specifications that we had required. So selection process determine the fair assessment criteria on which selection will be based. We will be choosing the candidate based on this skills. Applicants must submit the application forms, curriculum vitae, and certified copies of personal documents, IDs, proof of qualification. Sort the received documents, CVs, according to the assessment selection criteria. Screen to determine which application meets the minimum job requirement and separate those from the rest. Those who meet the requirement and those who don't. Those who don't decide, those who meet the requirements decide. Compile a shortlist of potential candidates identified. From those who meet the requirements, just choose the best from there. You shortlist them. Invite shortlisted candidate for an interview. Those that have been shortlisted are invited for an interview to get to know them better so that the business makes the right decision. A written offer is made to the selected candidate. So after the interview has been conducted, the employee or the person that is the interview that performed better than all of the people is given an invitation through email that, hey, you have gotten the job. Inform unsuccessful applicant about the outcome of the application. So those who did not qualify, you tell them that, hey, it didn't work out. And then after that, let's talk about interviews. What is an interview? An interview refers to a conversation between a job applicant and a representative and an employer, which is conducted to assess whether the applicant should be hired for a vacancy. So the purpose of an interview is to determine a candidate's suitability for the job. When you're having an interview, you are having a face-to-face conversation with the person you're trying to hire. So that will help you know whether this person is the right person for the job based on their answers and how they look and everything. Every candidate for anything that may not need to be the interview should purpose, I'm still on the purpose, to get more information from the applicant, to evaluate the skills, personal character of the applicant. That's the purpose, to provide the applicant with the opportunity to find out more about the job, because even when you're in an interview, you will be asked if you have any questions. So that is providing the applicant with the opportunity to find out more about the job, the salary, working conditions, and the business. So the role of the interviewer before the interviewer is the person who is interviewing the person who has come for interview. If I am the boss and someone has come to apply for the job, I am the interviewer. So the interviewer should develop a core set of questions based on skills, knowledge, ability required. The interviewer should check the applicant, verify the CVs of every candidate for anything that may need to be explained, book and prepare the venue for the interview, set the interview date, ensure that all interviews take place on the same date. If possible, inform all shortlisted candidates about the date and place of the interview, and notify all panel members conducting the interview about the date and place of the interview. So panels are people who are going to be interviewing the person who's looking for a job. They are called the panel. So during the interview, the role of the interviewer, the person who is looking for a person to fill up a position, the interviewee is the person who's applying for the position. So their roles are there. So the role of the employer, the person who's interviewing, the person is to allocate some amount of time to each candidate, introduce members to the of the interviewing panel to each candidate, make the interviewee feel at ease, make eye contact, and have good posture and body language. So the person who's been interviewed, the interviewee, the applicant's role inside an interview is to greet the interviewer by name with a solid handshake and a friendly smile, listen carefully to the questions before responding, make eye contact, and have good posture and body language. So confidence and have a positive attitude. So now we're going to be talking about a contract. A contract, it is a legally binding written agreement between employer and employee. Guys, if you're still finding this video quite informative, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like the video. It means you are enjoying if you're watching this far with 20 minutes in and you're still here. A contract is a legally binding written agreement between employer and employee. When a person now has gotten a job, they have to sign a contract. So aspects to be included in employment contract. What should be included in an employment contract? They like to ask this question, so you should know. Name, address, contact details of employer, personal details, address of employee, job title, working hours, salary, termination of contract, leave conditions, signature of both employer and employee should be there. And then legalities of the employment contract. This is what is required by law. Employment contract is an agreement between the employer and the employee and is legally binding. So you cannot just fire someone after signing a contract. Employer and employee must agree on any changes to the contract. Both parties must have contractual capacity to enter a contract. So you cannot hire someone below the age of 18. People under the age of 18 cannot enter contract. Aspects of the employment contract can be renegotiated during employment. The employment contract should include a code of conduct and code of ethics. It may not contain any requirements that are in conflict with the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. So the remuneration package includes benefits, including benefits must be clearly indicated. This is what you will get. These are the benefits for working for the company. The employer must allow the employee to thoroughly read through the contract before it is signed. So reasons for termination of an employment contract. This is the only reason you can dismiss somebody or say your contract has ended. Resignation. If somebody has resigned, the contract can be void, null. Like this contract is no longer valid. It's when a person resigns. Occurs when an employee chooses to leave the organization voluntarily. It's retrenchment. The employer may let go some of employee due to insolvency. The business is no longer making money, so they are reducing the number of workers. That is retrenchment. Dismissal, when someone has been fired. Retirement, when someone has reached a certain age and they are not eligible to work anymore. They're supposed to go on retirement. They are old or they are sick. They can go on early retirement. Redundancy, people are, you have you have hired more than you need. Some people are redundant. They don't know what they're supposed to be doing in the job. You just hired too many people. So they can be fired or they can be let, you can let them go because there's no work for them. So this is activity 2. Identify the reason for the termination of employment contract from the given statement. So you have 3 statements you have to know and link them to reasons for termination of employment contract. And induction, from there we'll go to induction. Induction refers to a process of introducing new employees to their job and their working environment. So introduce new employees to management, colleagues, to establish relationship with fellow colleagues at different levels. So purpose of induction is to create opportunities for new employees to explore different departments, explain safety regulations and rules so that the new employee will understand their role. So basically the purpose of induction is showing the person that has been hired around to know every corners where you make tea, the boardroom, other people where are different departments. That's the purpose. Aspect that should be included in the induction process. You should tell them about safety and regulation rules, overview of the business. They should have an overview of the business, information about the business products and services. Meet with senior management who will explain the company's vision, values, and job description and daily tasks. Tour of the premises, introduction to key people and close colleagues, discussion on employee benefit, and assign a senior colleague to act as a mentor. So benefits of induction is new employees who are familiar with the business procedures, rules may easily adapt to his or her work environment because they've been introduced to everything, so they will be able to adapt easily. New employees will learn more about the business and understand their role in the business and what is expected. It will increase productivity and quality of service performance. So activity 3 is there. State 3 aspects that should be included in induction program. And then we're going to move on to placement. Placement refers to a process of matching the skills and abilities of an applicant to the requirements of the vacancy. So placement procedure, the procedures of placement is to outline specific responsibilities and expectations. So we need this person. How are we going to match them to what the vacancy requires? You determine the employee's strengths and weaknesses and skills, interests by subjecting a various psychometric tests. You determine the relationship similarities between the expectations of the position and the competence of the new employer. So to see if they will be able to fit in the new role. The importance of training, skills development in human resource management. So this is the importance of training and skills development in HR, in human resource management. The employee who receives the necessary training is more able to perform the job. The investment in training that a company makes show employee that they are valued. This is part of the Skills Development Act. So you can just go through that. Ongoing training and upskilling of the workforce can encourage creativity. So go through all those points. Let's talk about salary determination. Difference between piece and time-related remuneration. So remuneration is compensation. So how are we going to pay the people who is going to be hired? There is piecemeal remuneration. Workers are paid according to the number of items or units produced. And then with time-related, workers are paid for the time they spend at work or on a task. So they paid according to time. With time-related piecemeal, they are paid according to the units they have produced. So the link between salary determination and the Basic Conditions of Employment Act. What does the Basic Conditions of Employment Act say regarding determination of salaries? The Basic Conditions of Employment Act set out conditions that ensure fair labor and human resource practices. According to the Basic Conditions of Employment Act, businesses may use different remuneration methods to pay their employees. Businesses are supposed to deduct income tax from the employee's taxable salary. So those are the link and what the Basic Conditions of Employment Act says. Fringe benefit. Examples of fringe benefits are medical aid, pension, provident fund, travel allowance. The company says, hey, you can have travel allowance. You get a company car, or you get a cell phone, or a housing allowance, uniform allowance, catering, providing free meals. You get free meals. So benefits are fringe benefits. Anything you get from the company that benefits you outside of your salary. So the impact of fringe benefits on businesses. This is a positive or advantage of giving employees fringe benefits for the businesses that attractive fringe benefit package may result in higher employee retention. So people will not be resigning. People will be able to stay longer in the business because of those benefits that they're getting. Reduce the staff turnover as new employees have been induced properly. Improve production, resulting in higher profitability. And you can go through the next of the points. And then the disadvantage of having fringe benefits on business is that fringe benefits are additional costs. And administrative costs increase as as benefits need to be correctly recorded for tax purposes. Businesses who cannot offer fringe benefit will fail to attract skilled workers. So this is another question 4. You can do that and answer those questions. All right, for human resource, these are the answers for activity 1. You can mark yourself activity, this is activity 1 and activity 2 respectively. This is activity 3 and this is activity 4. I hope you got everything right. And here is the remainder of activity 4. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next one. Bye.